You're listening to The Djew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Djew Yari Show.
Hey guys, it is Thursday, 6 p.m. on the dot. Less coughing as last week's show, so don't expect too much coughing. It is another episode of the Djew Yari Show. I am your host Yari, and welcome to the show, people. How's everyone's day? How's everyone's week so far? My week has been so. Just dealing with work, but such is life. Work is work. Work is always gonna be stressful no matter where you work. I mean, you can be working in an office, you can be working at McDonald's, and it's always gonna be stressful. You're always gonna have to deal with stressful people, whether it be management or workers or customers, clients, whatever you want to refer to them as. So. Just dealing with that, but I'll be good on that. Yeah, I should probably just mute my coughing. Again, I'm not as sick as I was last week. I've actually gotten a little bit better. My girlfriend, she told me she noticed I was snoring in my sleep last night, and that's kind of an early sign for my cough kind of slowly going away. So that's good. I mean, I don't see how you'd be able to snore when you have a cough, so if it's gonna go away, then I hope it goes away, like ASAP. I also went to the doctor on Tuesday. Because I went to that doctor before, that particular doctor, and I really just needed a refill on the prescription she gave me last time I got sick, and they just advised me, she's gonna ask you to come in anyway, just to check on you. So I just went for a checkup. They gave me a refill and didn't have to pay a thing. Except on one of them. My insurance didn't cover one of them because they were over the counter. And that was $38. So I kind of put that on the side until I can pay for it because I'm a broke bitch until next Friday. So next week's going to be fun. Next week I start a fingerprint class for my job. Where I work for the sheriff's office for my county, and I work in the records department. Basically, my job consists of me just like if you need to look for a bond, or if you need to show records that if somebody has been in jail before, or warrant information, then you would call us and we would give you that information. Depending on who you are, we don't give out free warrant information to the public anymore. But I've pretty much been trained in almost everything for my job. Now we're going to start fingerprinting, which basically it's a 2-week class. And if I pass the first week, I have to pass the first week, so that way I can move on to the second week. I need at least an 80. And it's not one of those things where it's like you must pass or else you'll get fired. If I don't pass, then I can just take it again. But, I mean, I would want to pass. I don't want to take the same class again. So it's going to be fun. They're releasing the starters for the Eastern Conference All-Stars, which they're not really starters. I mean, what they're basically doing in the NBA now is they'll announce the starters, quote unquote, and then the team captains will draft their own players. So it's not East versus West anymore. It's just one team versus another team. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. But the NBA to me, the NBA has kind of lost my interest for a very long time. It seems like they're really just looking for ratings rather than overall, the best team versus the best team. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm only saying that because I have the TV on. Usually when I record in my living room, I'll have the TV on. I mean, it's kind of just a thing I do where I need the TV on. There's really no particular reason. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to have the TV on while I'm recording. I mean, I'm not going to have the volume on while I'm recording, but I still need the TV on. It's like an OCD type of thing that I've done since I was a kid. Like, if I was like studying in school, I would have the TV on. Or if I was reading, I would, put on a movie, put on a TV show. I don't know. It seems like something you shouldn't do because you don't want to get too distracted. But, I mean, especially since I'm home alone at the moment. The lady, she has the car, and the sister-in-law is on assignment somewhere. I'm not going to get out her business, but they probably won't be home for a while. So, anyways, let's get started with the news. Last week I made a big promise because B Show Brian, he was on the show. He was actually on the first show of the decade. Actually, shout out to B Show Brian, where he made a good point where he was like, "Do you feel as a host that you kind of have to pay attention to everything? That you must watch NXT, you must watch Raw, you must watch A, B, C, and D." And he made and he was right. He was very much right. Since I'm the host of this show, since it's literally just me the majority of the time, I feel like I'm obligated to bring the news to everybody, to talk about what's going on. Last week, I don't think I did a good job. And, I don't want to make excuses. I wasn't really feeling that well. So my mind was kind of racing and going into, like, a million different places. I feel a lot better this week. And this week I've actually been paying attention. This week I actually did watch Raw. I actually did watch NWA. Watch NXT. Watch AEW for the first time in, I think, November. So I'm able to give you the news, guys, and give you my thoughts. So let's talk about NXT for a bit, and we'll get into the ratings after I'm done talking about NXT and AEW. We'll get into the ratings. So NXT this week, it kicked off with the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. The Grizzled Young Veterans, what are their names exactly? Zach Gibson and James Drake. I'm not sure if I'm sold on that name. I mean, I guess it's like an irony type of thing, but they're a very good team. I mean, they're a hell of a team. I'll give them that. They had a hell of a match against O'Reilly and Fish. O'Reilly and Fish looked like they were about to get the win, and then what the fuck is it? Imperium? That's what they're called. I forget the name sometimes. Imperium. There you go. Imperium came out, distract them to get a little payback from last week, or from the NXT UK special, I guess, pay-per-view or special event, whatever you want to call it. Or Undisputed Era came out and attacked them, and then the Grizzly Young Veterans, took advantage of the opportunity and pinned Colorado and pinned the Undisputed Era. So now they go into the finals, which is going to be next week. Gotta say about Imperium, John J. made a very good point about him. Outside of Walter, they're really not that interesting. Like, if you take Walter out of that group, do I really give a shit about the other three guys in the group? I mean, it's not that they're not talented. I just don't care about them. I mean, you look at a group like DX. If you took Triple H out of the group and you had the New Age Outlaws and X-Pac and China, they would still have been an entertaining group because the New Age Outlaws are actually over. Road Dogg was actually over. Billy Gunn was actually over. X-Pac was actually over. China was over. I mean, you took Shawn Michaels out of the group, and they're still over. And that's how Triple H got himself over. So, and again, I'm comparing apples to oranges. I know. But Imperium's just not that interesting. Walter is obviously the glue, the support beam of that team. You take Walter out of that team, that whole house falls apart. Next match, Io Shirai versus Toni Storm. Oh man, it seemed like Toni. I'm not sure if Toni Storm's supposed to be a heel or a face, because she was acting like a face in some aspects, but it seemed like the crowd was way more into Io Shirai. Like I don't know who's more over, Toni Storm or her ass. Oh man, I mean Toni Storm's not bad in the ring; she's actually very good in the ring. But I think her assets kind of outshine her wrestling ability, if you get what I mean. But Io Shirai, I think regardless of who you put in front of her, maybe it's like a Rhea Ripley, she's always going to be the most over one in that ring because people love Io Shirai. They refuse to boo her because she can work. She can work her ass off. And people are just attracted to her personality. So, really good back and forth between these two. And then Bianca Belair came out and attacked Toni Storm. Basically, as a way is to say, I don't want you beating Rhea at Worlds Collide. I'd rather beat her. I don't want you beating her. Don't take that opportunity away from me. I hope I don't click off the screen. Okay, there you go. So then, that's when you have Rhea come out, and then that's when a big scuttlebutt happens in the ring. Io goes for a pretty mean-looking moonsault outside of the ring on the other three girls. And Toni Storm ends up posing with the NXT, at the time, called the NXT Women's Championship. Let's kind of go off. Well, it's still on topic, but so the NXT Women's Championship will no longer be called the NXT Women's Championship. It will be called the NXT Championship. So, what the fuck is the actual NXT Championship going to be called? Is it just going to be called the Championship? Or the NXT World Heavyweight Championship? Like, some WWE Fox posted this, or WWE on Fox on Twitter posted this. I think the best thing for the women's division right now is that we eliminate the term women. And then 24 hours, that's when NXT decided to not call the Women's Championship the Women's Championship anymore. That is probably, without a doubt, the stupidest damn thing I've ever heard in my life. So, we're just going to get rid of all types of gender terms, and in general. There's not going to be a women's division. It's just going to be called a division. or a men's division. It's just going to be called a division. Which, you know what? It makes sense. I'm fine with that. But who the fuck is Rhea going to defend her title against? Since it's not a women's title, does that mean she's going to defend her title against Adam Cole? Or Donovan Dijakovic? Or Braun Strowman? What's going on, Djew? Not much, man. Would you mind muting your mic? Hey, no, I'm not mad at you, man. Don't worry about it. I'm not mad at you, Djew. I was just I was in the middle of a rant. But yeah, I was just talking about the fact that the NXT Women's Championship is now the NXT Championship. Our worst nightmare has kind of come true. This whole thing about gender inequality, or whatever the hell you want to call it, has now seeped its way into wrestling. Go right ahead, man. Mm. Yeah, but how? If it did come from Stephanie McMahon, that wouldn't make sense because she has nothing to do with NXT. This is all Triple H. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's still stupid as hell. I'm sorry. It's Hmm? At the end of the day, it's still a dumb idea because it kind of contradicts what they want to do. Where it's like it's no longer a woman's title. It's like, okay, does that mean she's going to defend the title against men? Well, no, she's still going to defend it against women. Then it's still a woman's title. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know, man. It's just I kind of hope it's just somebody making up some dumb shit, but I mean, it's kind of a I forget who said this, but it's almost kind of like the icing on the cake as far as like WWE trying to force the whole women's revolution on everybody, and now it's seeped into NXT. Yeah, but honestly, I don't see AJ ever coming back. I mean, we all thought CM Punk was coming back, but the whole thing with the Miz kind of solidified that he's never ever going to come back to the WWE and wrestle. I mean, he seems like he's happy. At the end of the day, it's all about what makes you happy and what's better for your health as far as like mental and physical. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna fix something really quick. All right, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, yeah, because I didn't know you were gonna chime in because that way I would have fixed the audio settings. So basically, when the show comes out, no one's gonna know anything that you just said.
You know what? I'm not that important that I'll get my nipples twisted over it.
Oh no, Djew, you're very important. Everybody who contributes to the show one way or another is very important.
I'll tell you what. You make it up to me next time, and you know what? you want me to chime in, I'll do it again, and then we'll call it even.
You know what? I'm just going to say right now, for everybody who's listening, anyone is welcome to chime in, whatever topic I'm talking about, whether it's wrestling related or not. You're welcome to always chime in, give your opinion. You can disagree with me. You can tell me I'm wrong. You can say I'm a piece of shit. do whatever. Like, you're welcome to chime in. I'm always up for debates.
I like debating. I find it stimulating, but that's just me.
Yeah, I love debate. Debating's always fun.
As long as it's civil, because if it's not civil, it's an argument.
Yeah, and I hate arguments. I mean, there's a difference between debating and arguments. Arguments, nobody wins.
No.
So,
no. All right, I'm going to let you do your thing, and I'm just going to sit back and enjoy and maybe play some Xbox. I'll check with you later, okay?
Sounds like a plan, man. Take care, man.
All right.
All right. So, continuing. Next match on the card was Finn Balor versus Joaquin Wilde. My girl was watching the whole show with me. So, when Joaquin Wilde came out, I had no clue who the fuck he was. Honestly. Literally the first thing I said when he came out was, another development talent. And my girl's giving me this look like, what the fuck is he wearing on his head? Because I guess his gimmick is that he's, into, new age fashion. I don't know. I literally never heard of it. I don't know this guy threw a hole in the wall. And my girl assumes that I'm, the wrestling connoisseur. I'm like, I don't know, literally every wrestler on the planet. Come on. So, this ends up being a squash. Finn Balor wins the match. And this kind of sets up a match that he's going to have on Worlds Collide with, Elijah Dragunov. If I butcher these names, I'm sorry. I don't pay attention to NXT UK. I'm sorry. I haven't paid attention to the show. I hear it's very good. I hear the crowds are white fucking hot. But I literally don't know anyone on there. I mean, other than Walter, Imperium, Tony Storm. Who the fuck's the champion over there? Who's ever in the live chat? Can you tell me who the champion of NXT UK is?
It's not Pete Dunne anymore?
No, the women's champion. I'm sorry.
Oh well, I don't know. I have no idea, sir.
Kaylee Ray. Thank you, Maurice Bear. Yeah, Kaylee Ray, who I actually like her, by the way. From what I've seen from her, she's actually very good. I like her a lot. Also, I have a thing for Scottish chicks. I don't know why. But other than that, I literally don't know anyone on that show. Sorry. But yeah, these two are wrestling and on Saturday. And my girlfriend's sister made the comment on this Dragunov guy. He looks like the bad guy villain in a Jackie Chan movie. And I'm just like, yep. I mean, she's not wrong. So, I mean, again, I haven't seen him wrestle. I can't judge him. If I see him wrestle, he might be very good. I mean, they don't just let mediocre talent in NXT. So, anyways, Shayna Baszler versus Shotzi Blackheart was the next match. Shotzi Blackheart eliminated Shayna Baszler in the Battle Royal from last week to see who would become the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship, who then went on to be eliminated by Bianca Belair, who Bianca Belair won the match. I haven't seen Shotzi Blackheart wrestle before. What the fuck? I don't know her gimmick. Is Shotzi's gimmick supposed to be she's some type of punk rock Nazi broad or something? I don't know. Or Tank Girl. You guys remember the movie Tank Girl from the 90s? But yeah, she was pretty good. I mean, it's the first time I've seen her wrestle. It's the first time I've ever seen her wrestle. She's actually very good. I'm surprised they haven't saved Shayna for the Rumble. Because I'll get into my predictions later. I'll just say that for later. But I honestly thought they're going to save Shayna for the Rumble. Hey, Djew, something just occurred to me. Maybe the answer to your question regarding the renaming is just as simple. Oh, he personally messaged me. Hey, Djew, something just occurred to me. Maybe the answer to your question regarding their naming is just as simple as a lot of the indie feds I go to are making mixed gender matches the norm. Yeah, you have a point. It might have something to do with Tessa Blanchard, though. But I don't know. It might have something to do with her. That might have something to do with it. I don't know why it would, because I doubt Vince even pays attention to Impact Wrestling. But yeah, this match, Shayna wins with a Kirifuda clutch. She refused to break the hold, and Blackheart passed out. Pretty predictable match. I mean, I didn't really think there was a way that they were going to let Blackheart win the match. So, honestly, I think Shayna's going to show up in the Rumble. That's just my opinion. So, next match, the co-main event, the Broserweights versus Imperium, Marcel Barthel and Fabian Aichner. I like the team of Dunn and Riddle. I think their styles are kind of similar. Pete Dunne's more of a submission guy. Riddle's kind of I wouldn't say a striker. He's more like a kicker. He does a lot of kicks. Doesn't do too many high-flying moves. Their personalities are very different, but they complement each other. Pete Dunne's kind of like the serious guy, and Riddle's kind of the big goof. The match was very good. It was very entertaining to watch. The Broserweights, they end up getting the win, and afterwards they confront their opponents for next week's finals, which are the Grizzled Young Veterans. There was a nice promo where who's the bald guy in Grizzled Young Veterans? What the fuck's his name? The bald guy in Grizzled Young Veterans, the guy with the goatee, kind of looks like a skinny Steve Austin. He's basically talking shit to Matt Riddle, saying A, B, C, and D, kind of giving the typical I'm a heel foreigner promo. And then Matt Riddle goes, "Bro, I honestly don't know what you just said, but I heard the word joints, and I just started daydreaming." And I thought that was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I love Matt Riddle. So it sets up next week's match, which I thought that was going to be like the match at the Worlds Collide pay-per-view on Saturday. But I guess they want to save that for next week, or maybe there's just too many matches. Because I know NXT doesn't like to do too many matches on a show. They want to do maybe like 4 or 5. So it wouldn't hurt to add like a 6 match. So main event: Roderick Strong versus Keith Lee. With Undisputed Era at Roderick Strong's side. Pretty hot match. Like, this match was very hot back and forth. I was surprised they didn't do something with William Regal coming out and telling Undisputed Era you gotta leave the ring, or the referee throwing out Undisputed Era. I guess they kind of wanted to make. They really did want to make, Keith Lee look real strong. Real strong, brother. Because if you had thrown out the Undisputed Era, there's no way, like, as far as like a realistic standpoint, you would have watched that match and went, yeah, I don't buy Roderick Strong kicking the shit out of Keith Lee, unless he has backup. So it made sense for Undisputed Era to stay out there. So that way, Keith Lee, he already looks strong, but you make him look real strong because he overcame the odds. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're a big guy. If you're surrounded by, 4 or 5 other guys kicking the shit out of you at once, it's going to be difficult. Not that I'm like some, tough, Randy Couture, type of fighter. It's just common knowledge. So, again, very good back and forth. Keith Lee ends up picking up the win, becoming the North American champion. which good for him. Again, like I said about Shayna Baszler, I honestly think Keith Lee might end up showing up in the Rumble. There was a rumor that no NXT talents are going to be in the Rumble, which I doubt. Because I was listening to Julian's show on the Wrestling Court, and he read that there are already 26 slots filled for the men's side. So that leaves, actually I think he said 25, whatever. But that leaves about 4 or 5 more spots left in the men's Royal Rumble. So that can either be for NXT talent that are debuting, or maybe some legends show up. But I'm still sticking to my gut that I think Keith Lee might show up in the Rumble. Overall, I thought NXT was a pretty good show. The last couple of shows for NXT weren't, they weren't terrible. I don't think NXT's ever really done a terrible show. But they haven't really been that good. But this show in particular was actually very good. It was a pretty solid show. Good back and forth. I'm not too big on them, adding 5 tag matches in a show. But I thought the tag matches are actually pretty good. I wish that neighbor's dog would shut the fuck up for like 5 minutes. Jesus Christ. Dog barks at nothing. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to turn on my porch lights real quick. Talk amongst yourselves.
Soups. How you been? Kevin.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the next door neighbor's dog literally barks at anything. And I don't really worry about that dog. If my dogs are barking at something in our driveway, that's when I get worried. Yeah, we've already had 2 cats killed because of dogs in our fucking yard that will try to fuck with our cats. So yeah, that's better safe than sorry. Yeah, NXT was actually very good. Moving on to AEW. Again, I haven't been keeping up with AEW. Now I've decided I need to watch all shows. So I'm not just up here talking like a dullard. But AEW this week took place on Chris Jericho's Rockin' Wrestling Rager at Sea Part 2. First match on the card was the AEW Tag Team Championships. It was a Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus SCU. Why did my voice change into a goofy podcaster, as DT would say? That was a bad DT impression. Don't tell DT I made a bad impression. I've said before I'm not a big fan of Kenny Omega. I prefer Adam Page more. I still do. I thought this match was very good. The crowd seemed like they were very much into it. Was the show pre-recorded or was it live? Can somebody answer that for me? Was this show pre-recorded or was it live? Because I heard it was pre-recorded. Djew said it was live. I heard it was pre-recorded. I'm not saying you're lying, but yeah, because I remember somebody posted saying, these pre-recorded shows are the drizzling shits. I mean, I didn't think they can pull off a... Oh, Sean Kenter says it was taped. Yeah, I don't know how... Yeah, I figured. I mean, because they were at sea. I didn't know you could do a live show at sea. You probably would have had to do it at a different time. And weren't they in overseas? They weren't even in the United States. So yeah, I mean, I figured it was overseas. So the crowd, from what I saw, seemed like they were very much into the match. At SCU, I mean, Scorpio Sky is talented, but Angie Carlick from False Count Radio made an interesting point about AEW, is that their whole thing is we want to put over the young talent, but yet let's give our first ever tag titles to Christopher Daniels and freaking Kazarian. I mean, Kenny Omega's not exactly a spring chicken, but he's a little bit younger than them, and so is Adam Page. So Adam Page and Kenny Omega are tag champions. You know, the second tag team champions in AEW history. Was this like almost like an answer to what happened on Monday? Or, I mean, was this show already taped before or after Monday Night Raw? I mean, because I guess we can kind of... I mean, we'll go back to Raw. But on Raw, I mean, the main event was Seth Rollins and... It was Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy versus the Viking Raiders for the tag titles, and Rollins and Murphy won. So was this kind of an answer to that? I mean, I don't see why it would be, because they don't tape on the same day. But very good match. Very good, very solid. Oh my God, I'm messing with words. Very good, solid back and forth between these two teams. Omega and Page being tag champions is interesting. And immediately they already start teasing dissension between not just, them two, but the Elite, the Young Bucks. There was a interview segment where Tony Schiavone anytime he would ask Page a question, he would immediately cut him off and go to Omega. Or literally anytime Page was being asked a question, someone would cut him off. The Young Bucks came in, congratulated him, and then Page, the whole time is drinking, and he looks over at the Young Bucks and goes, yeah, is it crazy that we were champions before you two? And then he just walks off. So that they didn't even say time, teasing dissension. They already just threw it in there, which I'm not a fan of that. I kind of wish they would have just, kind of let it cool, let it simmer, and then when you get to the right point, that's when you tease that dissension. My question is, who do you make the heel and who do you make the face? I mean, because it looks like they're going to make Adam Page a heel. Am I saying his name right, Adam Page? It feels like I'm saying his name wrong. Adam Page, there you go. Hangman, or just Hangman Page. I just call him Hangman Page. Personally, it'd be interesting if they made Page, the kick-ass, babyface, and then make Kenny Omega and the Elite the heels. But if this means if this is a way to get Page over with the crowd and with the casual audience, the filthy casuals, as Mish would say, I'm down, because I've said it before. Of all the Elite guys, I prefer Page, because I think he has a tremendous upside. He looks like somebody who is ready for WWE. Like, he's someone that WWE can say, we're going to put you on television. We're not even going to waste time putting you in NXT. And like I've said before, I'm just not a Kenny Omega fan. I mean, he's very talented, but I see him as another internet darling. I don't know. It's just an opinion. So, next match. Bleacher Report gave that an A. Good for them. Next match was Britt Baker versus Priscilla Kelly, the wife of Darby Allin, who I think is a massive douche. I never seen Priscilla Kelly wrestle. I only knew about her because of her her tampon abilities, if you will. Taking a sip of my drink. Drinking water. I mean, this cold's not going to go away, automatically. I still need to drink fluids. Where was I? Oh, yeah, Britt Baker and Priscilla Kelly. Again, never seen her wrestle. I knew about her tampon abilities. She is very beautiful. I gotta give Priscilla Kelly that. She is very beautiful. She is drop dead gorgeous. But she is not very good in the ring. Not very good in the ring. Very sloppy. Not to say that, Britt Baker is, Shawn Michaels. Britt Baker is terrible. I'm sorry. Britt Baker seems like a nice person. She seems like an extremely sweet... She seems like a sweetheart. She seems like someone you can bring home to your parents. Her and Adam Cole make a very nice couple. They seem like that couple that is so cute together that it's almost kind of sickening to watch. Like, they're that kind of couple that if they found out that your grandmother passed away, they would automatically show up to your house with banana bread, and they'll talk to you about how you're feeling. Like, they just seem like a nice couple. The only thing is Adam Cole is the more talented one in that relationship. He is better on the mic, he's better in the ring. Britt Baker is neither of those things. And her infamous promo that she cut on Tony Schiavone. She beat Priscilla Kelly, by the way. And she cuts a promo on Tony Schiavone. I couldn't get through it. I can only listen to like maybe 15 seconds of it. And she's just very bad. She's not very good. I'm not gonna waste too much of my time in this. Britt Baker, she's not very good. She sucks. There's really no other way around it. She's just not very good. Next match was the Jurassic Express, which was Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt. Versus the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz. Pretty interesting match. I like Santana and Ortiz. I forget which one it is. The one that has like the afro. I like the way he sells. He has that exaggerated, I'm gonna pretend like I just got hurt worse than I already did type of selling, and I love that. And they're great in the ring too. They're good on the mic, and I think they work well with Jericho. So far, the Inner Circle, I like them. I mean, I don't think they're setting the world on fire, but I like them. They work well together. They seem like they're actually friends in real life. I don't think Jericho would just choose anyone to be in a group if he's going to start a group. So he seemed like he knew who he was picking. But and as far as like Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, I have a problem with big guys that try to work like cruiserweights. Because Luchasaurus is a big dude. He is a big motherfucker. And yet he's doing flips, he's doing dives, he's just doing all this crazy shit, which to me it's like, you're a big guy, work like a big guy. Do clotheslines, do power moves. Like, work like a big guy is supposed to. It's like same thing with Keith Lee. I love Keith Lee, but pretty soon Keith Lee is going to start hurting when he's doing with all these dives that he's doing. So, just for big guys in general, just once you're in these spots, because Keith Lee is going to be in the main event spot. There's no doubt about that. He needs to kind of do more power moves and less of these cruiserweight moves. So, overall, the match was not terrible. The end of the match, what happens is that Luchasaurus, has a schmoz with Jake Hager. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry gets taken out early in the match, and then it comes down to Marco's son, Jericho, which Jericho, it didn't look like he was trying to sell for Stunt, but in the end, Jericho hits him with, what the fuck is the move called? The Judas effect, which to me is probably the stupidest looking move. Who is coming in the house?
Me.
Okay.
Who lives here?
It's like, well, you were taking your time opening the door.
He got stuck on the stupid keyhole.
I'm just like, is somebody gonna rob me while I'm recording?
Yeah, somebody doing my Darth Vader.
Okay, good. That was a sister-in-law, by the way. I'm not being robbed, but yeah, overall the match was what it was. Next match, Joey Janela versus MJF. They show a nice little package promoting MJF and Cody's match. And I think it's called Revolution, which is the next AEW pay-per-view. I've said it before and I'll say it again. MJF is without doubt the best heel in the business. Like, I think he's younger than me. I think he's a lot younger than me. But he gets it. He gets how the business works. He's not like... He's smart enough to keep the gimmick going because he's not like a lot of these guys in the business who act like heels, but they also want to be loved. MJF will act like a heel on and off camera. Like if you see him in an autograph signing or an indie show or an AEW show, or you see him on social media, he heels it up 100%. Him in the ring, I mean, he's not terrible in the ring, but he's kind of average in the ring. But his personality makes up for it. Which, I mean, it's kind of like the old school way where when you look back on it, a lot of guys back in the day were kind of average in the ring. But their personalities made up for it. I mean, not to compare apples and oranges. Hogan was not good in the ring at all. Like, he was just not. He was terrible in the ring. But his larger-than-life personality is what made up for it. Flair, pretty average in the ring, but had a larger-than-life personality. And again, I know that this is coming from a 30-year-old kid who wasn't alive in the 80s and the 70s. So, but it's just an opinion. It's called the eye test. But the match ends with who the fuck was it? It was Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, who in storyline fashion, Penelope Ford was Janela's ex-girlfriend, and she started banging Sabian. They distracted Janela as he's going up for an elbow drop. MJF gets the win, and goes on the mic, starts talking shit, then Cody comes out and reminds Cody of the rules. You can't touch me no matter what I say or do to you. Starts flipping off Cody. And so the Young Bucks come out and take MJF and throw him into the pool. So now we got the main event. Jon Moxley versus Pac. Jon Moxley selling his eye injury from last week when the Inner Circle held Moxley as Jericho stabbed him in the eye with an ice pick. So he's selling the eye injury. Would have been a lot cooler if he wore an eye patch, though, like a Nick Fury or eye patch, or a Kurt Russell from Escaping LA eye patch. I like these two wrestling. The last match they had was on a main event of AEW, where it ended in a what the fuck you want to call it? They basically ran out of time, so it went to a draw, which, I mean, I've said it before, I do like the fact that they have time limits, because it adds kind of like a sense of urgency in these matches. So, as far as I know, there's a time limit in this match, but I don't know how long the match was. I think it was like 60 minutes. Again, good back and forth. I like Pac. I don't see Pac in the main event picture anytime soon. Matter of fact, I don't see him in the main event picture at all. I mean, because they said AEW is, thinking about, bringing in, newer titles. So maybe he can be their new TV champion, or United States champion, or whatever the fuck champion. Moxley wins with Paradigm Shift. So he's now the number one contender for the AEW championship, and he'll be facing Jericho at Revolution. Before I get into what I thought about both shows, the ratings came out today. AEW wins again. AEW with 871,000 viewers to NXT's 769,000 viewers, up from last week. I think AEW was down, a little bit down from this week because it was a tape show. Still didn't hurt him, by the way. I thought both shows are actually very good. I can't really say whose show was better than the other because I actually thought both shows are actually very good. But at the end of the day, AEW, they're one of their many problems. One of their problems is their women's division. The women's division is not very good. Oh my God, can that dog shut the fuck up? Their women's division is not very good. NXT's women's division, whether it be the United States show or the UK show, their women's division just supersedes AEW's by a long mile. I mean, you got Rio, who's just she looks like she's very uncomfortable being out there. Britt Baker, who's just not very good, not good in the ring, not good on the mic. They need better women on the show. That's it. I mean, from what I saw on tonight, it looks like the show has gotten a little bit better. But they need better women. I think they just need more talent. They need more guys because it seems like they're having the same matchups every week. It's either that or everything's a tag match. But I mean, supposedly Luke Harper is going to sign with the company. Supposedly Lance Archer is that his name? Lance Hoyt or Lance Archer from NJPW. He was the former United States champion. Which, hey, good for him. But, yeah, I thought both shows did good. I can't really say which show was actually better than the other. I mean, according to ratings, a taped AEW show beat a live NXT show. So, but hey, I thought both shows did very good. What's going on, Perk Dog? I guess we can talk a little bit about Raw. We'll keep that short and sweet. I thought the ladder match was very good. To me, I think it was maybe one of the better ladder matches I've seen in a while. I was surprised Ray was taking that many bumps. Like, if I was his wife or his son, I would say, "Are you a fucking idiot?" Because I mean, what was that one bump? I think Ray was trying to do what do you call it? It's like a version of a power bomb. I don't know if maybe they just weren't connecting on time, and then you just see Andrade laying out his head, and then Andrade does that sick DDT to Ray on the broken ladder. That was pretty gnarly to watch. Not gonna lie, it was a pretty gnarly spot. I don't envy Ray after that match. I don't envy how he's feeling. The guy's already being like held together with duct tape and crazy glue. I'm surprised that they had this match for free on Monday Night Raw. I'm surprised they didn't have it on on the pay-per-view. I mean, it would have been interesting to have it on the pay-per-view. Like you have a ladder match in front of that hot Houston crowd. Jesus. But hey, I mean, they needed something. They needed a hot show to go on with, and supposedly the ratings are up. I mean, I think it was like a 2.3, which was up from last week. And then Humberto came out after the match when Andrade tried DDTing Ray on the exposed concrete, and he came out in a weird way. He came out wearing a Ray mask and then decided to take it off so they can do the whole, hey, it's Humberto, which it would have been better if Humberto just came out. If he had just made the run-in to save Ray. Instead of doing the whole, hey, it's Humberto Carrillo. He's under that mask. And, mean, they're actually wrestling Sunday. Humberto and Andrade, which I guess they want to get started with that right away. I mean, whatever. I don't run the fucking company. What else happened? Ricochet. Speaking of bad promo cutters, Ricochet coming out while Brock is talking, and saying, hey Brock, I'm not afraid of you. No one's afraid of you. I'm here to fight you. And then Brock's walking away, and he says, hey, what's wrong, Brock? You scared? And then he just makes this weird look. I'm like, ugh. And then Brock just proceeds to kick him in the nuts. Like, he doesn't even bother F5ing him. He just kicks him in the nuts. Which, would it be surprising if that's something Brock decided to do off the cuff? Like if they told Ricochet, hey, Brock's gonna F5 you. It's like, okay, I'll just take an F5, it's fine. But then Brock decided to pull an audible, kick him in the nuts. That seems like something Brock would do. Where it's like, Brock's telling Paul Heyman, I kind of want to kick him in the nuts. And Paul's just like, no, Brock, no. Just don't. Just F5 him like you're supposed to. I don't know, it's just something about it makes me just want to kick him in the nuts. It's like, Brock, stick to the script. F5 him. Alright. I still want to kick him in the nuts. They get out there and Brock just thinks, you know what? I'm just going to kick him in the nuts. And then kicks him right in the nuts. Rochambeau. Ricochet is just cringe. Jesus. And then we get to the main event, which I had mentioned earlier. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy defeated the Viking Raiders to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. I don't know, like, I guess, like, the natural thought process would be that they would have the, AOP beat the Viking Raiders, but then again, the AOP is not really over. I don't think they'd be over enough. I think they're being really just used as muscle, which seems like the smartest thing for them. And then again, the Viking Raiders aren't really that popular. They're not really that over. I mean, let's just be real. They're not really getting a big reaction in these shows. So I guess you want to put the titles on guys who are actually over, who actually do get a reaction. I mean, at the end of the day, Rollins still gets a reaction. I mean, he gets booed, but it's still a reaction because now it looks like he's embracing that heel persona. So good for him. Buddy Murphy's starting to come into his own. I mean, this seems like a punch in the like a nice little punch in the arm for Buddy Murphy. I mean, his careers are. He kind of had that push earlier in the year, and then they decided to just take him off TV for whatever the fuck. And then they put him on Raw and put him in a series of matches with Aleister Black, which were good to watch, but what were they really doing for him? That was to get Aleister Black over. And now you put him in a group with Seth, one of their top guys, and it's a nice way to get him over. So, if it means getting over a good talent, I'm all for it. I guess this seems like a WrestleMania match. You got Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens. So I'm all for that. That sounds like a good Mania match. I'm fine with it. I was going to talk about NWA. Who the hell just messaged me? Okay. I was going to talk about NWA. I did watch NWA Powerrr. I went through a spurt where I wasn't really watching it. I was praising the shit out of it when I first started watching it, and I stopped watching it. Now I'm paying attention. I thought the show this week was very good. I'm starting to like, again, like I said before, I wasn't a big fan of Nick Aldis. But now he's starting to grow on me. Again, another guy who, like, he's embracing the heel persona. He's not terrible in the ring. I mean, he's not going to light the world on fire. And NWA is mainly for... Okay, AEW and NXT are for the younger audience. They're for that younger audience that's into the high spots and the kicks. Whereas NWA is more about mat-based wrestling. You're not going to see, 60-minute, spectacular matches. You're not going to see high spots. You're not going to see ladder matches. You're just going to see good old-fashioned wrestling. And to me, I think the old school look is what really gives its appeal. I think if NWA didn't have the old school look, people wouldn't, invest their time in it. But because it has that old school look to it, it's what's bringing people in. I guess we can... Somebody just emailed me. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I doubt it. An email from my former job that I literally went in for one day and didn't show up afterwards. They just sent me an email saying, "We want you back." It's like, no, you don't, bitches. The first match on the card for NWA Powerrr, Tasha Steelz versus Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa beat Tasha Steelz. I like Thunder Rosa. I like her gimmick. Anything with face paint usually gets over. If you're wearing face paint, you usually get over. Her gimmick's interesting. It's kind of like a cross between, I guess, she's almost kind of like a female Jeff Hardy in some ways. But, second match, she got Thom Latimer versus Trevor Murdoch in the NWA TV title tournament. The big gimmicks in these matches are it's 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Which is interesting. I don't know why they don't just make it like an even 10 minutes. I said before, I like that they have time limits in wrestling matches now because it adds a state of urgency in each match. But NWA wants to do things a little differently. I'm assuming at their pay-per-view events the matches are longer, but Trevor Murdoch I like his look. He has that old school look that fits NWA. He seems like someone that's going to get over huge in this company. Thom Latimer, who's in Nick Aldis's group. Was it Risky Business or Just Business? Or Strictly Business. There you go. Who's dating Camille. Or I think he's either dating her or married her. Murdoch wins by getting a roll-up on Thom Latimer. Didn't even lay a hand on Latimer. Didn't get any offense in, but ends up rolling him up. Okay. Next match on the card. Allison Kay, the NWA Women's Champion, versus Marty Bell. Marty Bell, her former best friend, in a non-title no disqualifications match. These two were brawling all over the studio. They were brawling outside of the ring, on the concrete, in the crowd. I'm not sure if Allison Kay is supposed to be the heel or the face. Because her and Melina had a schmoz where Melina drops an F-bomb during her promo. And is Melina wrestling? Is she just running a stable or is she wrestling? I mean, that's really my only question. I mean, judging by the promos, it looks like she was wrestling, so that was kind of a dumb question. Never mind. Forget I asked that question. But, man, we're already an hour and 4 minutes in. Crazy. Time flies when you actually have something to talk about. But, what happened? Allison Kay wins by using her finishing move on Marty Bell on the steel chair. More promos, a Pope, and an Eddie Kingston promo. I didn't even know Pope was wrestling, so. Aaron Stevens. That Aaron Stevens and question mark thing killed me. I love Aaron Stevens. I see how he's doing in NWA now, and I just think to myself, what did he do to not get a push in WWE? Like, who did he piss off? Like, did he kill someone? Did he sleep with the wrong person? Or did he know something he wasn't supposed to? Like, how did this guy not get over? Like, this guy did get over, and they did nothing. Like, what did this guy do to piss somebody off? Like, I literally have no clue. Yeah, it was a nice little bit where his sensei, the question mark, decides to demonstrate a karate, as he would say, demonstration. And the fans are yelling, question mark, and Aaron Stevens goes, don't call him a mark. So it was a funny ass segment. It was gold. And then one of the students ends up being what the fuck's that guy's name? Ricky Starks, there you go. Because on the final demonstration, they're about to break the board they want to break the board using their what the fuck's the move called? Chopping the board multiple times and to get his 4th degree. And then Ricky Starks ends up being one of the students who uses the board to hit Aaron Stevens with. I'm starting to like Ricky Starks, by the way. He has a weird face, though. Like, he just makes these weird expressions with his face. But, was this the main event? No. Next match, last chance gauntlet match for a spot in the NWA TV title tournament. Ken Anderson wins. Again, Aaron Stevens was like one of the last opponents. He comes into the match earlier and decides to hide, and then comes out later as question mark distracts Ken Anderson and Colt Cabana, and I guess he uses one of his karate. He's trying to use one of his karate moves on both guys, and uses both hands on Stevens. And Stevens is in storyline fashion. He's paralyzed after using, I guess, the poke of doom or the fingers of doom, and he's just stiff as a board, just bouncing back. Just bouncing back and forth on the rope. I just thought that was just amazing. So then it comes down to Ken Anderson and Colt Cabana. Ken Anderson gets the win, I think, by holding the tights. And Colt Cabana is just, he's pissed off that Anderson had to cheat. Anderson assures him, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to win. Shakes his hand, they hug, and then Anderson, stabs him in the back. He turns his back on Colt Cabana, now Ken Anderson's evil. And after the match, he proceeds to beat the shit out of Colt, to where they had to get him off of Colt to make sure he didn't hurt him any further. The Lakers and the Nets are playing. I don't really care. Spurs are my team. But now Ken Anderson is now part of the tournament to become the television champion. So, there you go. More setting up. There's a James Storm promo with Eli Drake, which was kind of funny. James Storm doing his best impression of Ricky Bobby, saying, "I'm all hyped up on Mountain Dew." Basically setting up the matches at our times. Nick Aldis versus Ricky Morton. Good match. The crowd seemed like they were very much into it. Nick Aldis getting the win. I mean, they're not going to put the title on Ricky Morton. They put the tag titles on him and Gibson, which I thought was interesting. But the match seemed like it ended very quick. Like they didn't waste time like having all this, doing like some big promo and celebrating outside of the ring. No, as soon as the match ended, the show ended. I mean, I don't know if they were running out of time on Facebook or YouTube, or because I know they stream on both. But after the match, they teased Marty Scurll coming out. Scurll, I don't know, is it Scurll or Scroll? It is what it is. But NWA Art Time is going to be tomorrow. I would watch it, but I'm broke. So, if there's anyone kind enough to put out a live stream of that, which I'm pretty sure they will. Well, they streamed the last one, and someone put out a free live stream for everyone to watch. That will be much appreciated. I'm actually I'll watch it if I'm able to watch it. I'll watch it, and I might even review it. I don't know, but so far the match card is. I won't spend too much time in it because I haven't been that invested in NWA lately. You got the NWA television title tournament. You got the Question Mark versus Trevor Murdoch. You got Dice versus Math. Tim Storm versus Ken Anderson. Ricky Starks versus Cross. It looks like the way it's going, they want Tim Storm to win. And I like Tim Storm. He's a good talker. He's decent in the ring. He's good on the mic. He's a good babyface. He's a quintessential babyface. I think Colt Cabana might screw over Anderson, regardless of how far he gets. And then you got the NWA World Tag Team Championships. You got the Rock and Roll Express versus James Storm, Eli Drake versus the Wild Cards. Personally, I would want them to take the titles off of the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, I get why they had to put them on. Kind of like, that nostalgic moment. I guess give them to the white hot baby faces, which is Storm and Drake. But they might end up giving them to the Wild Cards. And then you got Aaron Stevens defending the NWA National Championship, or the 4-degree black belt National Championship against Scott Steiner, which I think that's very interesting. Stevens looks like he's going to win. This looks like it might be a fuck finish. I don't see them putting a title on Steiner, but then again, they put it on the Rock and Roll Express. So, isn't Steiner supposed to be a heel? Like, isn't he with wasn't he with? Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he with Aldis's group? I don't know. Allison Kay versus Thunder Rosa for the NWA Women's Championship. This looks like it might be a pretty solid match. I see Allison Kay walking away because it looks like they want to set up something with her and Melina down the road. So, and then you got the NWA versus Ring of Honor in a promotional match. No title on the line. Nick Aldis versus Flip Gordon. I think they're going to give it to Nick Aldis. They're not going to have a Ring of Honor guy come in and beat him on their own show. And then something with Marty the Squirrel is coming out. So again, if there's a way I can watch it, I'll watch it. Now let's end this show talking about the Royal Rumble. You got the Royal Rumble, which is going to be live this Sunday, January 26th, at the Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. It will be the 33rd event under the Royal Rumble chronology. Fuck it, I'm just going to say it over one. Let's look at the matches so far. You got Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo for the United States Championship. I would say Andrade is going to win. I'm saying a lot. Sorry about that. Andrade is going to win. I mean, this match looks like it might be very good. It has the potential to be a very good match. I like Carrillo. I don't see him being any bigger than he is. Andrade seems like he's destined to be in that world title picture. I mean, now that he's banging Charlotte, but that's not here nor there. Humberto Carrillo, I think his glass ceiling is just this, which is, United States Championship. But I don't see him winning this title. He'll be a United States Champion, just not right now. But this match looks like it's going to be pretty good. It might end up being the best match of the night. I don't know. And next you got Bayley versus Lacey Evans for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley, she hasn't really come into her own with this heel gimmick. This heel gimmick seems like it should have been a lot bigger than it already is. It has potential to be a lot bigger. And it's not that Bayley's bad in the ring. Bayley is actually very good in the ring. And there's people that still like Bayley. But I don't know. I think this heel gimmick will grow as time progresses. And you got Lacey Evans, who they're making into her face. And it looks like it's working. Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like they're slowly shedding this, the whole Southern Belle gimmick. And just making her look like a person. Like, they're talking about her being in the military. They're bringing in her daughter. And that's good. Because the whole Southern Belle gimmick sucks. I don't care what anyone says. That gimmick sucks. I hate it. But just make it into a badass. I mean, the girl is a legit killer. She should be somebody that should be in the same ring as Ronda. Like, if anyone's going to look believable out there against Ronda, it's going to be her. I'm going to take another swig of my drink. But I don't think she's ready yet. So I think Bayley's gonna win. It's gonna be in like some type of fuck finish, I believe. Her daughter might get involved. I don't know. But yeah, Bayley's gonna win. Next match, I don't know what the fuck this match is on the card. Shorty G, I hate calling him that, versus Sheamus. I don't care about this match. I don't care about Sheamus. I'm gonna call him Chad Gable. I'm never gonna call him Shorty G. I like Chad Gable. I don't care about this match. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a pre-show match. Which I think it might be. But Sheamus is going to win. There's no chance in hell that Chad Gable's going to win. So, next match, Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This match can go either way. Because they let Corbin win the last match. Like, decisively. Now that Roman Reigns believably has help in this storyline, now it could go either way, because now he has the Usos back. And King Corbin has his troops. He has Dolph, and he has Bobby Roode, who got suspended for doing drugs, and now he looks a lot bigger than he used to be. But that's not my business. At the end of the day, I think Roman should win. I mean, this match could be interesting because it's Falls Count Anywhere. I mean, you could use weapons. You could you could spear him into the crowd. He can spear him into a popcorn machine, which I doubt they'll do. And again, it could go either way, but I think Roman's going to win. I mean, it's Roman. At the end of the day, it's always going to be Roman. Next match on the card is Becky Lynch versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship, which is actually a rematch from last year. But that was for the SmackDown Women's Championship when Asuka made Becky tap out. I think a lot of people forget that. I think Becky's going to win. This is a way for Becky to get her heat back. I wouldn't be surprised if Becky wins by submission. Just as a way to kind of get her back from last year. Which, again, I'm surprised that Asuka even won by submission from last year. But I guess they still want to make her look strong. The company still is invested in Asuka in some aspect. If they don't have anything for her to do as a single star, they're going to find something for her to do. And they put her in a tag team with Kairi Sane, which is working. It's making Kairi Sane look better. It's making her character look better, being with Asuka. So I think Becky's going to win. Next match on the card You got a strap match for the WWE Universal Championship. The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan. Again, this could go. I think this could go either way. This seems like it has the potential to be something interesting. I mean, strap match. Basically, they're just going to be confined together, via a strap, and they'll still be able to beat the shit out of each other. They just can't run away from each other. I mean, I would say fuck finish, but how can you do a fuck finish in a strap match? You're literally going to be, bound to each other. So, I think the Fiend's going to win. The talk is that they want Roman versus the Fiend at Mania. I mean, I wouldn't mind Daniel Bryan versus, Roman at Mania. Or maybe even make it a triple threat match. Fuck it. Why not? I just hope they don't do that fucking, let's make the entire arena red shit. Like, because that sucks. I don't care what anyone says, that sucks. But at the end of the day, we can't get what we want, can we? It would just be kind of, I mean, all signs point to, Bray winning this, but it seems like, I don't know, it's weird that you give Daniel Bryan this new look, even though it's not really new. I mean, it's new now because for the longest time, he's always, been known as the goat face, guy. So he's been known as the bearded guy. And now he looks like, Solomon. I love Jason Solomon. I'm not making fun of him, but I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to Daniel Bryan winning personally. I think the Fiend gimmick has kind of run its course. I don't know how anyone else feels about it. Now I got the women's Royal Rumble match. Who are the participants in the women's Royal Rumble match? So far, only 5 women actually. You got Charlotte Flair, you got Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Sarah Logan, and Natalya. So far, those are the only women. Which I'm pretty sure there's going to be other. There's, Carmella's going to be in the match. There's going to be some NXT call-ups. There's no doubt about that. I had mentioned earlier, I think Shayna Baszler will be in the match, and I think she'll win. And she'll go on to face Becky at Mania. But if Becky doesn't show up, if Ronda shows up before Shayna, or Ronda just shows up in general and Shayna doesn't, I think Ronda will win it and go to Mania and face Ronda. I mean, not Ronda, Becky. To get the match that, should have happened at Mania. That should have happened in Survivor Series of one for Nia Jax. Because, last year, that triple threat, main event with the women, just it didn't deliver the way it should have because it looked like it should have been a singles match. But they just needed something for Charlotte to do. Oh shit, I just clicked off the... But, I guess that's kind of those are my two options. I think Shayna will win, but if Ronda shows up, I think Ronda will win. I guess if Seth Washington is listening to this, I'm going to pick Ronda to win. Seth, if you're listening to this, I'm going to pick Ronda to win the match. And now we got the men's Battle Royal. 25 entrants have been announced as of January the 23rd, which is today. You got Roman Reigns, you got Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar will be the first entrant. He's the WWE champion. He'll be the first entrant. He's not defending his title. You got AJ Styles, you got Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Elias, King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, and Tucker, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Kofi Kingston, Big E, and R-Truth. So that just leaves 5 more spots. Which, there's no doubt in my mind there's going to be some NXT call-ups. Or just some NXT guys in general showing up, and then maybe some legends. They're in Houston. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, Booker T came out. I mean, Booker T's still in good shape. I mean, just bring him out for, a couple minutes just to come out and do a spin-a-rooney and get eliminated. by Brock. I don't see Brock lasting longer than he usually lasts, because his match with Seth was 14 minutes, but I think that was also a no disqualification match, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't see Brock lasting this whole match. Somebody's going to eliminate him. Whoever eliminates him is going to be his opponent at Mania. Mark my words. Because that's kind of how it has to be. My pick was Keith Lee. I personally think it will be Keith Lee. Keith Lee is on a hot streak. The talk is that Vince loves him. Vince loved what he saw at Mania. The office looks at him as an opponent for Brock and sees him as a guy who looks believable out there fighting Brock and possibly beating him. But that works for me. I think Keith Lee will come out and eliminate him, and then the final four. I made it today, and again, Seth, if you're listening, my final four will be Keith Lee, Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin, and Drew McIntyre. And I think it will come down to Keith and Roman as a way to finish up what happened at Survivor Series, as a way for Keith to get his heat back, to get payback on Roman. So, that's my choice. I think Keith Lee will win the Royal Rumble. I think Brock will run through 10 opponents. I think Brock will eliminate the first 10 entrants in the Rumble. Matter of fact, no, I'm going to say 8. I think Brock's going to eliminate the first 8 people in the Rumble. And then you're going to have, heavy hitters like Roman come in. You're going to have Drew McIntyre come in. Then you're going to have Keith Lee come in. And then that's when Keith Lee eliminates Brock. Which, then you have that big stare down with Keith and Brock. So, Brock versus Keith, that's my Mania match, by the way. I know some people pick Drew McIntyre. I like Drew McIntyre. And contrary to popular belief, I am not showing up in the Royal Rumble this Sunday. Kevin Castle was referring to Drew McIntyre, not Drew Yari. I mean, I wish I was in the Rumble, but I'm not. I'm sorry, guys. Personally, I will mark the fuck out if I see myself show up in the Rumble. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not. Anyways, those are my Royal Rumble predictions. I'll try to get in touch with Seth and see if he heard the show. But, I had a question. So somebody on Twitter. I'll just use that to close out the show. WCCW at WrestleMania 23 asked me, what will wrestling be in 5 to 10 years in your opinion? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't. And this isn't a cop-out answer. I truly do not know. I mean, personally, it wouldn't surprise me if wrestling went streaming. If Raw and SmackDown wasn't on television anymore, if they were just on streaming services now, or if they just put Raw and SmackDown strictly on the network. If AEW, decided to create their own network and just put the main show strictly on network, or if they put the pay-per-view strictly on network, it wouldn't surprise me if wrestling in general became streaming, and you had to pay to watch it, whether it be the main show or the pay-per-view. So that's my opinion. WCCW, if you're listening, that's my answer to you. Shouts to Wrestling Soup, John Draper, Joey Numbers, and Mish, who just moved into his new home in West Philadelphia, born and raised. I'm not gonna sing, by the way. Head over to their Patreon. It's just $5. You get all types of cool shit. The Don Tony Kevin Castle show. Don Tony shouted me out on I think it was Wednesday Night Dynamite. I think it was Wednesday Night Dynamite or the main show, which is DTKC. He mentioned my name, so thank you, DT. I'm going to mention you too. DTKC, Kevin Castle. Make sure to head to their Patreon. Our good friend Trez is on Dark Chronicles with our good friend Kev, so make sure you listen to that. You got the B Show, Brian. You got Brian J from the B Show, good friend of the show. You got Lost Count Radio with our good friend Angie Carlick. Wrestling Court with Julian Cannon and Rob. Alternative Minds. Make sure you follow their webpage. You got Bops and Bangers with our good friend Peter. The Peter position, I think, is no more. There is no more positioning of Peter. There's just Bops and Bangers, which is, I think they're primarily just a music podcast. So if you're into music, they will satisfy your needs. Let's see. Texas Podcast Massacre. I just made appearance number 3. Where we reviewed Insidious Chapter 2. Very good friends of the show, Nate, Mitch, and Lisa. If you're into horror movies, if you love horror movies, whether they're past or present, whether they're good or bad, these guys review everything. And they make it entertaining as fuck. They're classy people, by the way. Just class X. They make you feel at home whenever you're on the show. Let's see. And... If I'm forgetting any names, I'm sorry. Shout out to anyone who listens to the show. I'll put Tyler the Trademark. There you go. And again, shout out to anyone who listens to the show. When this show comes out, you won't hear Djew talk for a bit because I forgot to put on the audio settings, which he wasn't officially part of. He wasn't like an official guest on the show, but I just forgot to put on the audio settings, so I wasn't expecting him to chime in. So, and again, in the future, if on any show, if you guys wish to chime in, you wish to have a friendly little debate with me, disagree with me, call me out on my bullshit, you're free to do so. And I made sure to fix the audio as soon as he was talking, because there's going to be a portion where you just hear me talk to someone, you're not going to hear anyone for at least a minute, at least a minute and a half. But I'll be sure to upload this and edit this and upload it as soon as I can. I'll be back next week. These next 2 weeks aren't going to be easy. Again, like I said, I'm going to be taking this fingerprinting class for my job. It won't affect the show, by the way. It won't affect the show in any way, shape, or form. I'll just be very tired coming in to record. So, anyways, guys, take care. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Hopefully we can all enjoy the show tomorrow. I'll definitely catch Worlds Collide on Saturday, and of course the Rumble this Sunday. It's undecided if I'll do a recap show. I usually don't do recap shows, but we'll see. So I'm full of surprises. Later, guys, and take care.